You know you need to pray, or open your Bible, or get to work on something that actually matters, but you feel nothing. Zero motivation, just empty. And here's the part that sucks. You've been waiting to feel ready, waiting for the motivation to show up before you start, but it hasn't come. And the longer you wait, the more behind you feel, and the more behind you feel, the harder it gets to start. What if the waiting is the exact thing that's keeping you stuck? Because here's what I want to show you today. The scientifically proven best thing you can do in that moment when you're feeling nothing is to do the thing badly. Start anyway. Just show up. I know, it sounds backwards, but by the end of this, you'll understand exactly why a bad, imperfect action is neurologically worth more than a perfect action that you never take. And you'll see that the Bible has been saying this all along. It starts in James 1 verse 22, which says, "Be doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving yourselves." Most of us have heard that verse about 100 times, but there's something in the original Greek that really changes the way that we understand it. The word translated as doer is poietes, and it doesn't just mean someone who does things. It literally means one who performs and produces, someone who manufactures an outcome, a craftsman, someone who makes things real. This is the opposite of the person who only hears, the person who takes it in, nods, agrees, and never does anything, never produces the fruit of what they claim to believe. The biblical truth is clear. Transformation comes from action, not from waiting to feel ready, not from sitting there with the intention until the moment feels right. People who do that are only deceiving themselves. Obedience comes first. The feeling follows. That's the active command we see throughout the Bible, and neuroscience tells us exactly why it works that way. Imagine yourself trying to walk through really tall grass. The first time you go through, it's a struggle. You're pushing aside heavy grass, you're tripping over roots, and there's no path to follow. But the next time you walk that same way, it presses the grass down a little more. And the next time, even more again. And what used to be an overgrown mess becomes a flattened, clear path that you can walk down effortlessly. That process I just described is called Hebbian learning, and it's exactly what's happening inside your brain every time you act. Your brain is built from billions of neurons, which are nerve cells that communicate by firing electrical signals to each other. When a specific cue happens, and you immediately follow it with a specific action, the connection between those neurons gets stronger, and when they fire together, they wire together. So the pathway starts to be created. The connection seems quite faint at first, like when you walk through that grass for the first time, but every repetition makes it a little clearer until eventually the action stops requiring as much effort and starts becoming more automatic. And here is probably the most important thing you need to know. The pathway is made by repetition, not by the quality of the action. So what does that mean for you? Say you sit down to pray, 2 minutes. You have no words, you're distracted, you're annoyed that you even showed up because it feels like nothing's happening. But your brain disagrees. By making the physical attempt, even an annoying, clumsy one, your brain is already laying down the pathway. It learns from the physical action itself. The connections get made whether the experience felt meaningful or not. That completely flips how most of us think about this. We treat motivation as a prerequisite, the thing that has to come before we start. But neurologically, action is what produces motivation, not the other way around. You don't feel your way into doing it, you do your way into feeling it. A bad version of the right action is worth far more than a perfect version you never take. Every single time. So here's what I want to leave you with. What if waiting for the perfect moment of spiritual motivation isn't humility or wisdom, but the exact neurological wall that's preventing you from becoming the person who actually obeys naturally? The path gets created by walking it, not by planning to. So where are you waiting to feel ready? And what would one imperfect attempt today actually begin to build in your life?